All systems is go. Let's get it then. Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes. She like, there you go. She like, we go on a Monday, best day, blessed day. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question really is, where you been? Because over here on this side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes, when the people don't be acting flaky. Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you jump off the page and Usher to the left, Diddy to the right, I'm going to need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking, but you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we in the end game because my battery is low, so I got to go run and get my my charger. See how when you unscripted and all that? That's why I like being unscripted, authentic, and that feeling. Because nobody can. Let me do this real quick. Take it. All right, now we good. And we is in the end game, people. We in the end game because it's Monday. Monday motivation, motivational Monday. I am your motivational speaker, whether you like it or not. And here goes some motivation for your ass. If you're not minding your business, especially the business that pays you, then that means you're probably minding the business of someone else that pays them. Say that again. 9 times out of 10, if you're not minding the business that pays you, then chances are you are minding the business of somebody else who they're profiting and benefiting off of you minding their business. You working their business. Now I get it. You know, you got to do your job. We all got a job to do, right? But when you finish doing your job and you're doing your job well and you're doing it and doing it and doing it well, make sure you got enough energy for your own shit. When you get off, when you come home, don't rush straight to social media, you know, the drinking of the wine, the smoking of the poison, and, you know, the foolishness. I mean, if you got goals and aspirations, if you don't, then you can keep working and minding somebody else's business, and they'll keep getting rich and, you know, reaping the benefits off of your labor. You know what I'm saying? Just a little tidbit. It's Monday Motivational Monday. I am your motivational speaker, whether you like it or not. And that's the motivation, whether you like it or not, that you need to hear, right? In a little minute, though, we also winning in game because even though it's only been 2 weeks, I only do really a show once a week now. I mean, I've been doing a show once a week, but at one point in time, I was going hard in the paint every single day. Still ain't get to the watch time. Still ain't get to the views that I think I should have got to for whatever reason. Some people don't like to hear what you got to say, especially if it don't coincide with how they moving and how they give it up. And it could be other reasons and shit too. We're gonna rectify that. But nonetheless, it seemed like it's been longer than that. You know what I'm saying? Couple of things transpired since we've been on 2 weeks past. You know what I'm saying? Since I've done the show, even though I do an NBA show every day. NBA picking with Pop right here on Popovich TV. And yesterday we gave out Cleveland Rocks. Cleveland Rocks. Told y'all to take Cleveland with the points, although I thought they would win money line, and they did. Now they'll be facing my New York Knicks. You know what I mean? At Madison Square Garden tomorrow. I think the Knicks will go to the chip. Before we start getting into some other topics, I think the Knicks will go to the chip. And I took the Spurs tonight, for those that's wondering. Took the Spurs with that 6.5. I think OKC will win the game and win the series. And I think it will be the New York Knicks and OKC. I definitely hope it's the New York Knicks and OKC as opposed to the Cleveland Cavaliers, because OKC own them boys. Like they own Donovan Mitchell. I think he like 0-9, something crazy like that. They just lock him up. He is a small guy. I know he's a high flyer and all that, but they broke the narrative of not getting to the conference finals. So he finally did it under his watch. James Harden is another, future Hall of Famer on the team. He had a bad game, 2 for 10. You know what I mean? 9 points. Like, lucky y'all won that game, or the narrative would have been the same. Like, damn, you're a bum ass nigga when it comes to, close out games in Game 6 and Game 7. And who was that Patrick Beverly that was going back and forth with Wade about who's the better player, James Harden or Wade? Sheesh, lucky Donovan saved him in that one. But the Spurs right now, it's second quarter, 44-41. They up by 3. It was up by like 11. I think it's going to be a close game. That's why I took the 6.5 with the points. Before we get into some other topics and shit, shout out to my boy Great Fire. You know what I mean? Taurus is stand up. Shout out to my nigga Swift. I missed your birthday, but we shouting you out now. You know what I mean? 2 of my day ones. Y'all know love is love. Love y'all niggas to death. Trying to act for 2 better, you know what I mean, day ones, niggas that get it out the mud with you and, really got your back. So salute to all the Tauruses, you know what I mean? It should be day. It should be day. Black people lay for everything. Even they B-Day, it's still your B-Day. It's still your B-Day. Still your B-Day, B-Day, B-Day. I'm going to need more bottles. I'm going to need more. With that. Shout out to my nigga Famous, too. And shout out to my nigga Bobs on the beat who did that beat in that classic show. Shout out to all the Tauruses out there. But definitely shout out to my nigga Gray and my nigga Swift, a.k.a. Swift Don P. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get to some topics. Let's get to some trending topics and shit that's been going on since the last time we jumped on the live. I'm not even going to try to do better. I'm going to try to mind the business that I like doing. You know what I'm saying? Even though this shit don't pay me. But I do like doing it. All right. Let's talk about Dr. Cheyenne Bryan. Let's set it off with her black ass, right? And I'm being funny, but I'm not, as far as the doctor. And she has been spinning in the clip, right? And she got a knack. This her, Charleston White, you know what I mean? It's a couple of other people, academics, fucking it's a few people. Stephen A. Smith, you know what I mean? Like they just lightning rod figures that they get the people going. Boom, 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 boom. Like shit, so you know what I mean? Like so provocative, it gets the people going. And She made her way around. Forget what show she was on. I thought it was Sherry not Sherry Underwood, but Sherry, the other girl that got a show and they got terminated. But it wasn't her. It was another black lady, and I don't got the clip. But anyway, she went on her show basically like, listen, this is the last time I'm going to address this shit. She also went on the Breakfast Club like, listen, y'all motherfuckers ain't active listening, try to gaslight you. You know what I mean? Saying that the school burned down, can't find the transcripts and this and this and that. And before I go any further, first we want to tip our hat and salute Corey Holcomb, right? Because he been told us that she was lying. Her lying, stinking ass, like, why the fuck you lying? Like, why the fuck is you lying, you bitch? You ain't got to lie to us. One, motherfuckers don't really care, as we have been looking in the comments of these posters of her that's currently spinning in the clip. A lot of the following, a lot of the people that's following her, right? They like, what the fuck do it matter? We only drag black people like this, etc., etc. My nigga Great Fire on the check, and I just gave you a Swift Don P, big birthday shout outs, that big Taurus energy, you know what I mean? Niggas, the day ones and shit, couldn't ask for a better two, right? Salute to y'all niggas, love y'all niggas, you know what I mean? Ride with y'all niggas. You know what I mean? I love my niggas, I ride for my niggas on some Pac shit, right? Like, you know what I mean? Only my true motherfuckers know. This be the realest shit I ever wrote, you know what I'm saying? But people in the comments was riding for her. Basically, like, what do it matter? And we only drag our own like this, and nobody asking Dr. Phil or Dr. What's the fuck the nigga name is? Dr. Oz, right? And making fun. Some people was making fun, and some people wasn't, right? My thing is this. Shout outs to Corey Holcomb because he been told us that she wasn't a doctor. Shout outs to all of the look like it's glitching. We live on Instagram and we live on YouTube. If it's glitching like that, my bad. But shout outs to all of the brothers, right? Give yourselves a pat on the back, a round of applause. Because we already knew she was lying. We already knew. It's just like we got a knack for sifting out the bullshit, right? And it goes back to ugly truth or beautiful lie. And this shows the dynamic between ladies, gentlemen, and lowlifes. It's without esteemed pleasure to introduce Slick Rick the Ruler and MC Ricky D doing that smash hit Mona Lisa. Like the picture. No, I'm being funny, but I'm not. Like, ladies, gentlemen, and the lowlife. Like, the ladies, they love a beautiful lie. Most of y'all, not all of y'all. And the fellas on the other side, we want the ugly truth. We want to know that you getting your back blown out by a nigga brother or his best friend or some shit like that, right? We don't want the beautiful lie. You know what I mean? The Rihanna and Eminem, you know what I mean? Love the way you lie. And we knew she was full of shit. We knew it. And then I don't think it came out to be true, even though some people was putting this narrative out there that she don't even like men, that she with a whole WNBA player, so she cosplaying like, you know what I mean, she could take it, you know what I mean, but she really can't take it, and she wasn't ready, and she a whole lesbian, maybe allegedly kind of sorta, right? Don't sue me, Dr. Brian, I ain't got shit anyway. But we never see you with no man that's your man. We see you taking a whole lot of pictures with a whole lot of niggas, but they're not your man, right? And then we seen a little necklace. The internet is fucking detectives. They better than Sherlock Holmes and Matlock. These niggas is they the best in the business. Keep it in the buck. Mutar, sound like a rocket to Allah. They the best in the business. So they see your little chain and shit, and then they, do their little investigative reports on some genius liquid sword shit. And then they say like, oh, the other girl got the other piece of the chain. And they got to be lovers. Right? I mean, they got to be partners. And that's her business. Now, I mean, if you want to, lick the carpet and lickety split and all that, like, do you? Right? I mean, but for the most part, and I won't drag it, you know what I mean? I know her supporters is on her side, but basically, Corey Holcomb been told us she wasn't no fucking doctor. He already told her steez from back in the days. And men, like ladies, gentlemen, and low life, the ladies was believing that shit. I was eating it up. Like, oh, she ain't Cam Newton now. She told Nick Cannon and woo, 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 and I was loving it and sucking it up. Something is wrong with the sound. What is wrong with the sound? Oh, no. How I sound now? I might have to start it over. Is it bad still? Sound bad still? Is it bad still? Could be because of this. Could be because of that. All right, let's try this. And we live on Instagram and we live on YouTube. We're going to start over. We are going to start over. See how I sound now. See how I sound now. Anyway, niggas knew she was lying. Niggas don't really fall for the great lines and the great stories because you don't often hear them. As a man, if it's too good to be true, chances are that shit is probably too good to be true. You know what I'm saying? It's JP. What's the word? How the sound is now, Mutar's better? Niggas basically knew. You know what I mean? Women are love, like, for instance, right? And I hate to make it put like men and women, but we are different. You know what I mean? Our train of thought is different. How we see things oftentimes is different. It's through the lens of a male and a female, etc. You know what I mean? Perspective from young and up. You know, you can agree with that or you cannot. But men don't really live in delusion land. Far as I kind of paint this a narrative all the time. If you fat and you ugly, you know, based on women's standards, men ain't judging you. Then from a child, you know that you fat. So I big like black and ugly as ever. However, stay Gucci down to the socks, rings and rocks filled with rocks. Like you could beautify yourself through money. You know what I mean? But basically, after you put lotion on, you get a haircut, you get a shape up, then that's you. That's how you present to the world. Women, on the other hand, you could be not that attractive, right? As far as men judging you, not far as yourself, not your self-confidence. I'm not saying your self-value and your worth is tied up into how men see you, but I'm just saying how men see you. Say on a scale 1 to 10, right? Using the regular metrics, most men, right? To give a baseline, it'll be like you was 6, right? But now that's without makeup, without your hair done and all that shit. But when you add all that shit, now you like an 8. You could be a 9, right? Men could get a haircut and put lotion on. That's it. You could get some new sneakers. You could get an expensive jacket, and we'll talk about that later. As far as confidence and how people view themselves through the lens of you know materialistic things that they identify with. Basically, you are who you are. Now, I mean, that don't make you a bad person, not a good morally, stand-up citizen, principles of a man of God, etc. But it's just basically physical appearance. That's how it is. And so for that part alone, men wasn't buying that shit. And a lot of women was buying it, and that's why you see in the comments, a lot of them is like, get off her back already, y'all dragging it, etc. And men is just basically saying, like, nah, we been told y'all this shit. Let's talk about some other things, though. Speaking of women, right? Let's talk about this clip that's going viral on social media. So I got it right here. Of this mother. I was about to say single moms, but I don't know that for sure. But the chances are she's probably single. She's probably definitely single. Let me do this like this a little bit. Turn out a little bit. That's better. Chances are She definitely probably single. I don't know that for sure, but chances are she most likely single as fuck. Fuck, she probably single as fuck. You know what I mean? Not petty as fuck, single as fuck. Anyway, she caught her son in the bed with a young lady and in they house and they home. Looked like maybe on his little brother bed because it's a bunk bed, but you know, it looked like it's a kid's bed, and he looked, you know, big as fuck to be on the bed. And right before she goes in and, you know, does what she does, and I'm gonna show y'all, she like bet they won't be laid up in no more people apartments and you know shit. Let's roll the clip.
Y'all not going to sneak in nobody's house after this. Watch this.
She was so proud of herself too.
Y'all got the right house.
Get your nasty up out my motherfucking house. Who the fuck are you? 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 Me and sister. I don't give a fuck. Why you in my shit? Get your ass up and get the fuck out my motherfucking house. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Get your ass up and get the fuck out my motherfucking house, bitch.
Bitch.
Yeah, look at this shit. Get your ass up. You ain't got no pants on?
I'ma watch out.
No, you watch out, nigga.
I'ma watch out.
You ain't got no pants on. You in here fucking in my house, little bitch. Get your ass out my shit, bitch. I'll flash on your ass, nigga.
What's
Get
flash?
your ass out.
The hammer?
I'm finna come with you.
He's like, I'm finna come with you, actually.
The fuck? You show this comfortable up in my motherfucking kid shit, bitch. With no motherfucking clothes hung up in this motherfucker. Kayla?
He looking at her like, you look
She
real
show this
goofy.
comfortable in my motherfucking baby bed. Get your ass out.
He looking at her like,
Hurry up, I'll call the police on your ass.
call
The fuck?
police.
Go what the fuck y'all thought this shit was? Bitches ain't no motherfucking hotel.
You going from flashing to calling the police?
Look at this shit. Ridiculous.
What's ridiculous? That he getting some buns?
Hurry up, bitch. You got about 5 seconds before I start flashing.
Flashing what?
Hurry up. So your mama ain't gonna like none of that. Look at yourself.
Her mama
Just
might wanna whip
ridiculous.
your ass.
And find the door, bitch, before I push you out of it. The fuck up in my motherfucking shit naked, bitch. What the fuck is you doing?
Fucking.
Just fucking ridiculous.
Like you was doing when you was young?
Whole ass bitch in my motherfucking kid shit, bitch. I should have slapped your dog ass,
Why she
bitch.
gotta be at home? Look at that bonnet.
Caleb, so you think this shit is cool? This is what you doing to me?
No.
You think this shit is cool, bro? You do that shit other motherfuckers places. Don't do that shit here, bro.
Why not?
You gonna disrespect me like that?
Some disrespect other
For
people's
real?
place.
Bitch ass naked in my baby bed, nigga.
I guarantee you. Y'all not going to sneak in nobody's house
She
after
ate with
this.
this. So there's so many things wrong with this. First, no disrespect to the young brother, but your mom's is a bird. Sorry, you know what I mean? She a bird, it's a bird trap, right? She's a goofball, she's a clown, El Stupido, right? And I'm saying all that, and I'm not being funny. And this is why, as you hear me giving some of the commentary while the video was playing, right? Calling him bro, calling her out her name, you know what I mean? Now, maybe you don't know he got a girlfriend. She's a bitch, she's a hoe, whip the dog shit out of you, I'm gonna flash on you, then I'm gonna call the cops on you. All of these things to maybe push past traumas that was put on you, possibly. Maybe this happened to you as a kid. You know what I mean? Somebody's mom's caught you in somebody's house or somebody's car, back of the stairway, top of the roof. You know what I mean? Getting your guts dug out. And maybe you feel some type of way. Because it's almost like people in the comments was like, it's kind of like, is this her son or is this her man? Because the energy, right? It wasn't like a mom energy. Being mad is one thing. how you handle it is a whole nother thing. There's no emotional intelligence. Well, you got the bonnet on, and I know that doesn't make you have emotional intelligence, but a lot of y'all ladies that fall into this style, or you know, how you wear your clothes out with the pajamas and shit, y'all fall into the ratchet, no emotional intelligence. You kind of fall into that category. You know what I mean? You ain't got nobody to blame but yourselves. Mm-hmm. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself when it comes to that, right? And you're like, well, why are you cashing those aspersions? You know what I mean? And I'm cashing them because it's like, look what you did. The first thing you thought about doing is jumping online, embarrassing your son and the young lady, right? Now maybe she is a whore. You know what I mean? Maybe she fucking everybody in the neighborhood, your son included. We don't know, right? You don't know. You didn't even know until she told you who she was. That didn't mean nothing to you. I guess she thought it was gonna mean something like, nah, I'm such and such sister. You know what I mean? Or daughter. I don't give a fuck about that hoe. Straight, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Y'all women be talking, sound ratchet and ghetto, uneducated, even though they gonna probably say, we the most educated. Don't sound like it. Don't seem like it. It's not the overall narrative that's being painted and pushed. This is the narrative that's being painted and pushed. Some of the other people in the comments was pointing out that you kicking her out or whatever type of the night or early in the morning, then get a Uber. They didn't even talk with her. Like, how long you been dealing with my son? Are y'all using condoms? How long has this been going on? I'm a parent, but not a biological parent, right? And I wear that proudly, right? Two boys doing well for themselves. Couple of mistakes here and there, not always right, but no prison time, no unborn babies, no gang shit, you know what I mean? Doing well for themselves and will continue to go on that trajectory as far as, go on the trajectory that I went for my life, right? At least early on. So I just got to point that out. But even without being my kids, I still went to handle the situation like that. And this is also where, while in the beginning, although I don't know it to be true, but I said she got to be a single parent. You got to be a single mom. You just put your whole business on the internet, right? We ain't have to know your son was fucking, who he was fucking, right? All you had to do was you see them in there, they violate in your crib. I get it. Like, listen, ain't no smoking in here, ain't no fucking in here. Now we know that those are the rules that we was told too as kids. We still broke them. I know I did. Sorry, mommy, right? Like, booty clapping towns, you still got buns in the crib. You try to be a little sneaky about it. You wasn't just sleeping dead to the world where she could walk in the room and, pour cold water or hot water on you. Sound like you almost drowned. You drowned in the motherfucker, right? But still, we're going to break the rules. Rules is meant to be broken. Not all of us. I'm not saying everybody did that. But what I'm saying is that we know what it's like to be young, know what it's like to not can't afford a hotel room, don't got no other place to go, and you're horny and your hormones is raging. You really like this girl really like you or whatever. You're experimenting, right? And then you hear in the video say, you take them somewhere else. You go to their house. You don't disrespect my house, but you go disrespect somebody else's house. Instead of saying this is a teachable moment, this is a discipline moment. Instead, what it turned to is this is gonna embarrass you moment. And if she was anybody else besides an auntie or a sister, she probably would have got her ass whipped. Joey, what's the word? She probably would have got swung on because now you're embarrassing me. You putting my pride on the line. Dun, 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 dun. Like your life's on the line. No, your pride is on the line. The girl now. What about her moms? And I'm a cure violence worker. I don't know for how much longer. You know what I mean? I don't know for how much longer. You know what I mean? I'm always going, push peace forward. You know what I mean? Speak peace forward as far as try to do the right thing. And, violence only begets violence. But honestly speaking, this is just my views, not views of the company or organization I work for. But sometimes niggas need their ass whipped. And that's just the reality. I'm not even going to get up here and be like, nah, push peace forward and, you know, turn the other cheek and woo, woo, woo. Nah, sometimes niggas need their ass whipping. You gotta pop out and show niggas. That's just the reality, right? And but violence only begets violence, and we know that one of the biggest things that make people crash out, men and women, is when you get embarrassed and your pride and your ego was bruised in front of the world. Now that never could be taken off the internet. That's always going to be a moment where, you know, when you at school, your moms came in and drenched you down with water. They go, "Oh, you the hoe," you know what I mean? That such and such moms you know, kicked out in the middle of the night and made you walk the what's the Amber Rose the slut walk, right? You slut walking at the walk of shame. You had to walk the walk of shame. Couldn't brush your teeth, couldn't charge your phone, or you don't know if you know what I mean, her phone is dead. You just kicked her out. Now, what if something happened? You may not care. For those that's on the parent side, I'm on right is right, but wrong is wrong in how we choose to deal with things. We got to deal from a stop. Wait a minute. Think about it. How is this going to affect me in the long run and short term? How is this going to affect the parties that's involved immediately right now and long term? Could it have been a much better way to deal with a situation like that? When you bust in the room and see your son laid up in the bed, you ain't actually catch them fucking, you caught them sleeping, right? Now, that's not to say they didn't get it on, but when do the conversation come about pregnancy, condoms, you know, being a parent early like you was apparently? You know what I mean? When do these conversations take place? Because when you want to have them in the future, he's gonna remember this. And now you just shut yourself out. He gonna 52 block everything you throw his way as far as life lessons, at least for a little while. I'm not saying that he won't be forgiven and he won't eventually, you know, get back cool with his moms. I don't know what type of relationships or dynamics that they have in their relationship with his son and moms, but you know, this how you do me? You disrespect me like this? And he like, yo, mom, I'm about to get up out of here too with you, and probably shut her out for a long time because you embarrassed him. Everything ain't for the internet. Y'all gotta avoid the urge to run to the internet, tell all your business to strangers like me to give me something to talk about, content creators to chop your shit up, make you cut your comments off and like really go in on you. Because you know you can't take it. You know you can't take it. You know what I'm saying? What was Drax and Iron Man was about to blow his face all over the globe. And they're like, trust me, he can't take it. He's like, no, I can take it. And Mantis was like, no, he can't take it. No, you know you bitches can't take it. You know when niggas start jumping in your comments like, yo, you a deuce, and you know you a baby mother, a single baby mother, and you know you ain't a good parent and all that. A lot of y'all can't handle that shit. You think you can. You think you can handle the truth. And I want the truth. And you can't handle the truth. Right? You can't handle the truth. Jack Nichols, you know what I mean? Tom Cruise, a few good men, you cannot handle the truth. And not only can you handle the truth, but we know that some people on the internet is just trolling. So they don't give a fuck about the truth. They just trolling you. So they saying shit just to get under your skin, just to get a reaction out of you, to get you to block them, and just to come on your page and say the most outlandish shit off the cuff that they could think of to get under your skin. And then now it's mental health month, right? And you Megan Thee Stallion. And you could dish it, but you can't take it. Just thought that was interesting. You know what I'm saying? Better ways to parent. And this is the last thing I'll say. I'm just telling my coworkers, one was a female. She just was laughing. She's like, damn, you really hard body. Because I'm being funny, but I'm not. If I rule the world and I could free all my sons, it would be strict rules and regulations for you to have a baby in this world. I don't care if you could shoot 1,000,000 Mac 10s off. I don't care how many, babies you can have. As soon as a nigga touch you, you spitting out a baby. You will not be allowed to have a baby if I was in charge. You have to go through strict rules, regulations, procedures, guidelines, trials, and tribulations to see that you're fit to even have a baby to reproduce. Otherwise, we're taking the baby. Or make sure you terminate the baby. My ears. Nah, strap her down, terminate the baby. Cut his dick off. Shit like that. Whoa. You know what I mean? Snip, not cut his dick off, but snip, make sure that he can't reproduce. Because you're not fit to be a father. You're not fit to be a mother. And all you do is you produce degenerates, low-level individuals. Not everybody, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. You could like it, you could love it, you could dread it, you could run from it, but society has to deal with these type of individuals that don't get it together, that wasn't raised right, where parents are not fit to be parents. Society has to deal with these individuals. It's not like they just born and go to another planet and another island and raised up with all the other people that fit that category. They're right in our society. They're right here. They're right here. Everybody ain't fit to be a parent. Everybody shouldn't have a baby. Everybody shouldn't procreate. You know what I'm saying? That's just my take, right? Which brings us to this shit. We in the end game because out in, I think, Washington, D.C., Attorney General Janine Pirro,
as we grapple with this problem, there is one area that hasn't been discussed. Parental involvement has been a noted gap in any discussion. And I am here to say, as the United States Attorney in the District of Columbia, that ends today. Starting today, my office will aggressively prosecute parents under DC's curfew law. And the specific statute that we will use is a violation of DC Code 22-811. And it involves contributing to the delinquency of a minor. This statute makes it unlawful for an adult to enable, facilitate, or permit a minor to engage in delinquent acts. Penalty is up to 6 months imprisonment. So if the evidence shows the parent knew or should have known, and as we grapple with this problem,
this ain't a new concept, folks. As we check the score of that San Antonio game, woo. OKC is up by 1, third quarter. So look like it's a good game. We're gonna catch the fourth quarter, hopefully. This is not a new concept. I've been saying this. I've seen a couple of other people on their channels been saying this, throwing this out into the atmosphere, etc. And that's basically, should parents be held liable for their teens and their kids up to a certain age? You know what I mean? As far as breaking curfew, crimes, what's the word? Crimes, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, the shit that, like, where the kids is, Friday, what's the word, the 13th? Where the kids was in Bay Plaza doing a smash and grab, right? Your kids on the Gun Hill Road on top of the cars, like running on top of the cars, like across the cars, running on people's cars, fucking them up, right? There's video now everywhere you go, not only from the camera phone, but the eyes in the sky. Each building got their own camera. Each storefront got their own camera. Everybody got the ring. Like, no matter where you go now, the eye in the sky is watching over us, right? Not to mention the Most High. He always watching, but the eye in the sky where they can run it back, and before you get to the next life, we can find out what you did in this life, because we just gonna run the tape back. It ain't no getting away. Sometimes people slip through the cracks and you get away for a little while, right? And you can fool some of the people some of the time, but eventually you get caught, right? And if you don't get caught as far as that crime or whatever, karma and justice comes back around to us all in another way. But anyway, back to the crime of the kids. Say you want your kid running across 10 cars, fucking up the roofs, smashing the windows, right? And your kid is 15, 14, 13. They impressionable. They following everybody else. 17, right? Well, they supposed to fucking know better. You don't allow that shit in your house. Your message is stern, like, listen, we move a certain way in here. But when they go out, right, they go out into the world, You can't watch them 24/7. You can't, put a code in them and then they following all your commands and all that shit. We human, right? And humans are gonna human. But should there be a point where parents is held liable, where some type of law should be implemented where they say, listen, like they just said in the clip that I just played, you could get up to 6 months in prison if your child is out here doing the most and we could prove you knew about it or that you could have stopped it. I agree. I agree. A lot of people in the comments was mad. A lot of women was mad. A lot of women was mad. And I'm saying a lot of women, but maybe because it's a lot of single mothers, a lot of single parent households, and they're like, listen, I'm doing this shit by myself. This nigga father is locked up. He's a dope fiend. He's dead or whatever. I'm raising this boy or this girl, by myself. And I'm working 2 jobs, etc. And it's fucking hard on me. So I can't monitor my child every second of the day, right? Outside of school, what you want me to do. And what the government is saying, at least in DC, in that area, in the district, and what I'm saying and what I've been saying is no. You should be held liable. Sorry. You should be. Because now it puts more of the burden of accountability on the parent to be good parents, to really be nosy, to really get involved with your child. Because a lot of y'all are working too much and you're too cool with your child. You're too friendly with your child. It's not even a dynamic of parent and child. It's more like sister, brother, auntie, nephew. We cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially depending on the age. Y'all smoking with them. Y'all going shopping with them. Getting your nails done and doing all this bubblegum shit together, right? And you think that's quality time. But when they go out into the world, they're doing the most. They're carrying pistols. I often say, I got a little shit that's spinning. I ain't see it yet. We did a little snippet where I was asking the question is the shooter in your house? Would you know if the shooter was in your house? And do you even care? That's the 3 questions. Is the shooter in your house? Would you know if the shooter is in your house? And would you even care? Yes or no? Either way, would you care, right? Because is the shooter in your house? Could very well be. Would you know the shooter's in your house? Depending on what type of parent you are, you absolutely would know. And some of us do know. Some of us do know that our kids is out here with the shits. They the leader of the NiTes and the king of the Bloods and the, the prince of the Crips. You know your motherfucking kid is out here doing the most, carrying the switches, carrying the poles, etc. You know that. You're just not doing nothing about it. You're not even seeking help to do something about it. You're just letting the chips fall where they may and letting the scenario play out the way that it's going to play out. But imagine when the law and the authority comes down and say, nah, we catch your son out here doing XYZ, breaking into cars, going to these stores and smashing and grabbing and, going in and just snatching snacks and all that and doing shit just for the internet and kids are going to be kids and just having fun. Even if we don't prosecute them, we going to prosecute you. What would that make you do if you knew that as a parent and you working, you barely just getting by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by? You're barely making it. You know what I mean? You barely pulling it together. That would force you to be more in your kid's ass. Like, listen, you fucking little bastard. I'm telling you right now. You think them kids out there is going to save your ass? You think that the government is going to save your ass? If I got to do a bid for you for some dumb shit you out here doing that I don't even tolerate, I don't even condone, I'm going to fucking kill you. And I hate to have to say it like that. I'm going to whip the skin off your ass. I'm going to beat the shit out you. I'm going to beat the dog shit out you. I'm going to strip you of everything that I could strip you of. Some people are like, no violence. Violence is not the way. It's better to talk to your parents. But I'm from the era of getting your ass whipped. You know what I'm saying? And I could probably say it ain't probably work all the time for me. I did get the point when it was happening that what I was doing was wrong. It may not have been a long-term lesson that I, internalize. And I agree, ass whippings ain't always the way. Sometimes you do need to deter and show who's the fucking boss in your crib, in your house. You paying the bills, you putting food on the table, you providing iPhones and Gucci book bags and LeBron James sneakers and all that shit. And, you know, the nice, you know, clutch bags for your daughters. You letting them put the weave and extensions and the glue sideburns all on their face and all that. No, they better be listening to what the fuck you saying. Because if not, it's a problem. I'm all for it. Maybe parents, after they start getting them 6 months, lose your job. Now you might get evicted and all that, and then you'll probably do a lot more than what you're doing, or at least try to look for solutions before it's you to go to jail for something your kids do. I know everybody ain't gonna like that. It's probably not the most popular answer and all that, but it might make you think a little differently. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Definitely don't want to be going to jail for my son or my daughter out here doing the fucking most. You know what I'm saying? Spurs back up. Tough game. Tough game. That's why I wanted the points in my back pocket. What else we got going? 2 more topics. I ain't going to spend mad long, even though we haven't been on Popovich TV in a long time doing trending topics. Do NBA pick 'em with Pop every day. That's why you keep seeing me look at the score. We got San Antonio Spurs tonight with that 6.5. And last night we had Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland rocks with that 4.5. Let's talk about Quamir Cruz, right? 18-year-old boy, gunned down. Matter of fact, let's go to let's look at the clip. See if we got the clip.
They tried to be strong for each other in Brownsville tonight, but at times the pain was just too much. Everybody that's looking out the window should be outside. This was not just another shooting. Danielle Cruz's son was part of the positive change.
He just had so many high hopes for himself. 2 jobs, construction in the morning, in the day, and he worked in the center with the kids. He an art teacher at night.
Quamir Cruz was a light among his peers. And where Canva? The 18-year-old joined the nonprofit Canva in 2024, initially looking for a summer job. He wasn't afraid to be himself. He found purpose, providing a safe space for children.
He did what he was supposed to do, and he respected his mother. And they took my son from me. And they took something from me that I would never ever be able to get back.
To say this loss hits very close to home for this community is not an exaggeration. Quamir Cruz was shot in front of the Van Dyke houses where he lived, and only steps away from the Van Dyke Community Center, where he spent his time mentoring the youth and fighting the very thing that ended up taking his life.
He was not only a teacher or a leader to them, but he was also their mentor. So he had close bonds with these kids, and that's why, like, really right now, like, the kids and our staff are going through such a hard time because he really became that part of the community center.
Cruz had just met with staff to update his resume for a promotion. He was also set to obtain an OSHA certification in construction work.
He really just wanted to do right by his friends, his family, especially his mom.
In Brownsville, Anthony Carlo, Channel 7, Eyewitness News. They tried.
So that's another sad story, right? It's always a sad story when life is lost. You know, I never try to make light of death. You know, people losing their life, their loved ones. Condolences to his family. You know what I mean? The Cruz's family. To his Canva family and the community that he was involved in. Rough time. You know what I mean? To get gunned down, right? You know, in front of your building, but a few feet away from the center that you work at for this type of work. But what I was about to say is just that, Cam and paid in full. I often quote this line a lot. but not to be funny or be desensitized, right? Because I'm not. That's why I had to say the condolences and let y'all know what my train of thought is. I never would get on my platform, pop up his TV, talking crazy about the dead. I'm sensitive to, life being lost, as fresh as still, the feelings is raw. But I have to bring attention to this because can't sugarcoat it, right? And that's in the paid in full movie, Rico, right? When he was talking to Ace after Ace got shot, after his family got shot. He lost, people in his family. What Rico said. Niggas die every day, B. Niggas get shot every day, B. You strong, right? You could take it, right? And I say that not to be, insensitive. I say that to say that we as a whole have become desensitized to young people, boys and girls, right? Getting gunned down at a rapid rate and just being cool with it. Like Rick Ross said, little kid get murdered and buried in all white. 8th grade student, y'all thinking that's all right. Trying to figure out where I'm going with my life as I'm hanging on the brake and hitting the sharp right. Like, we get too cool with it. It's like, that's like a whole nother story that's in another borough. If you in the Bronx, you in Harlem, you in Staten Island, you in Detroit, it's a whole nother story that it's just a quick story on the news. It's a quick swipe to the left, swipe, up and down on your timeline, and that's it. And as a cure violence worker, right? Even I don't know how long I'm gonna be a cure violence worker in the capacity that I'm in now. I'm gonna reiterate, I probably will always still speak peace forward and push peace forward, for who I am now in the space that I am now in my life, right? And my evolution, right? Of who I am and who I used to be and where I'm still continuing to go. But I do this work, right? So to hear that young brother, 18, gunned down in front of his projects, feet away from the community center where he was working at, right? It's tragic and it's sad. And now, unfortunately, his mother got to live with that for the rest of her life, right? And we often hear that kids should bury their parents, not the other way around. And out of this, maybe something will be sparked in her that she'll be an advocate for gun violence, for the youth. Maybe, she'll dedicate her life to her son in that regards. And I often quote this a lot on the channel as well because it's reality. That's why I said people just swipe left, swipe up, swipe down. You look at it and say, damn, and you keep living. You know what I mean? You keep doing what you're doing. But when it happens to you and your loved ones, right? Oftentimes parents wait till their child is killed by a drunk driver. Then they want to be a drunk driver advocate. Mother wait till their son get gunned down like he got gunned down, right? Now they're advocating against drugs. Now they want to be active. Now they want to be frontline. And I often say you don't have to be a cure violence worker per se to do the work. Anytime you go out, this is your community. We have to take ownership of our community. Men and women. I get it. Women may say, fucking men, you need to lead from the front. And I would say, you're right. I would agree with you wholeheartedly. But that ain't the case. So you got to be frontline too, or at least right there on the side or on the back, pushing, the men that you know is doing this type of work and cheering them on. Don't wait till tragedy strikes your door. Now you want to get active. Now you want to, rally and, when you see, Eric Gardner, rest in peace, right? And again, I'm not making light of nobody that got killed. Mom's been advocating and pushing, for justice and all that for black and brown people who are unjustly done dirty by the police, the people that's here to protect and serve us every day on the front lines, and she older, but you see her at certain press conferences still pushing, still going to represent her son, who was, in my opinion, choked out wrongfully and made a whole big situation over some cigarettes that could have been avoided. But now she's an advocate, and rightfully so. But don't wait till it's your kid, your niece, your nephew, till the story is right in your lap. And now we're looking at your story because we don't know you. We just scrolling by like, man, you know what I mean? Kwame gunned down. But this is also the thing that I want to add to the story before we get off the story. Then I got one more topic and we out of here. Even though it's a lot more trending topics, but I do gotta go. I haven't been on in a while, so let me come on and talk a few topics. But the other side of that story, right? And this ties in with the story coming out of DC, where should parents be charged and held accountable for the shit their kids is doing? When you look at this story about Kwame, right? In the comments, you know, it's the internet. Some people is trolling, some people is speaking the truth, whether we like it or not, and we can run from it, we can dread it, but destiny is gonna arrive all the same. Like Thanos, it's gonna arrive whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you agree, whether you don't agree. The truth gonna hit, and hit dogs gonna holler. But people in the comments like, I don't even know why y'all niggas is acting like this was a good kid. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you go in the comments like I am, and I'm always in the comments, just like y'all, we social media experiment, you see stories and shit, and we commenting, we getting our popcorn, and we run straight to the comments, right? Some of us, because it's entertainment. Are you not entertained? People like, yeah, he was drilling, you know, he had songs and he was spinning the block. I think they say he either spent the block or he was spinning the block on people, right? And again, I don't know him. I don't know their family. I don't want to judge off looking at his moms and, you know, father not around. I ain't hear his father speak. So maybe his father wasn't around. I don't know. Again, I don't know what type of kid he was. I do know that he was in the program. I do know that he was trying to get employment, that he was working with youth and trying to do something right? Like a lot of people that do bad, myself included, been in jail 3 times, shot people, been shot at. My attitude is gangster, so I stay in some beef, sold drugs, did shit in the street. Now I'm on some cure violence shit, right? Who would have thunk it? But a lot of people that's like me, like the young brother that passed, people that been through the storm, through the cold and the rain, and you make it through, the Most High bless you. You say, damn, it's time to give back something at least. Let me just give something of some goodness for my own sake, right? Even if it's selfish, you're doing it for your own soul. You're doing it because you want to be a better person. So I salute you for that. But everybody don't got to be on that wave. Say, well, you killed 10 niggas, and I'm gonna quote Wu-Tang. If you're on Instagram, you can't see the sign. If you're on YouTube, you only can see a little bit of the symbol, right? But the skit on the Wu-Tang is to kill one man or kill 10. It's all the same. Besides, they can only kill you once, right? And when you give some perspective on that, you say, damn, yeah, kill one person or kill 10. Is it any real difference? That's basically what he's saying. And he's like, they only can kill you once, but kill one or kill 20. Obviously, people are like, nah, you killed 20 people. But killing one person is enough. It's enough. You took a life that can never come back. And once the lights go out, they don't come back on. Saying the flick, you ain't gonna come back on. You're not that strong. You knew it was wrong, but you asked for it, baby. Quote DMX, right? Rest in peace. So why am I saying this? Because you could be doing dirt, finding in your heart to want to do good, but the dirt is already done. The deed is already done. And you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. I'm not saying he killed nobody. I'm not saying he did any of that. I'm saying in the comments, people was like he was a drill rapper. He was doing this, he was doing that. Is it true? I don't know. But what I do know is that everybody ain't forgiving. Everybody ain't like, you working with kids now? Oh, man. Salute that brother. Let him get a pass. He don't get no pass. And not only do he not get a pass, but you get done dirty in the worst way, right in front of your home, right in front of where you work at, where you're trying to make a positive change. And that's sad. It's unfortunate. It's sad. Rest in peace to him. You know what I mean? Condolences again to his family. But everybody not going to give you a pass. I wish I had the video where the young kids, I think they was from Chicago. Y'all know I hate Chicago. I'm playing, but I'm not. I know New York City is fucking the worst as well. And probably wherever you're from, you probably think your city is the worst. But just on the outside looking in, I'm like, I will never go to Chicago. But it's a video of some kids from Chicago, and the interviewer is asking them, like, well, when do somebody get a pass? Do you ever give a pass? You know, when they with their daughter, when they out at the park, you know, when they get in McDonald's, etc. And it was all boys except one girl, and she was real, you know, vehement and real, you know, boisterous with her opinions. Like, yeah, you know, word to my dad and word to my grandmother, and you know, niggas don't get no passes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, just because you turned your life around and you ain't on that same type of timing no more, don't mean people gonna give you a pass. They may still wanna, you know, do you dirty. So that's why you need to get right with the Most High and try not to do shit that puts you in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? Unless you absolutely have to. And I'm gonna end this topic with this. Do you ever think about when you're out of here, your record deal, your video, out of here, your Mercedes Benz, your Range Rover, out of here, your days as a cure violence worker, you know, as a social media influencer, you know, as a husband, a wife, no matter what you are, as a lawyer, a cop, a scumbag, we all out of here. The question is, do you ever think about it when you out of here? Because if you say yay or nay, should help you put things in perspective and say, damn, one day I know I'm out of here. So I'm going to live life to the fullest. I'm going to be appreciative. I'm going to cherish the moments. I'm going to hold what's important, important, and the shit that's not really important, not important. You know what I mean? Let me go and get to this last topic and then we out of here. First, I'm going to check the score again, though. Spurs, they up 7 into the third. Spurs is up 7 into the third. Yeah, let's talk about this AP shit, right? You know what I mean? AP. Really? AP. You know what I mean? My AP. My Rich and Millie. You bum ass niggas. Rich and Millie on you niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I'm being funny, but I'm not. And what are we talking about? We are talking about. Hope I got the I believe I got it. Just not sure on which platform I recorded it on, but I got it though. Because I was looking at it before I came on in. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Let's go to this. There's definitely a lot of other things trending. I'll probably come back on tomorrow, though. We're going to start just bombing first on y'all. Why not? Fuck it. Yeah, I think it's coming up right now. Yep, here you go right here. So the last topic of the night, we in the end game because of this AP shit, right? And DDG has some comments. BouT has some comments. Few people had some comments on, you know, AP and, you know, them coming out with $300 watches and this and this and that. And I'm gonna play this real quick and then we'll come back with my thoughts, right?
EDG, listen. EDG, listen. You understand this shit? $300, nigga. Like, just seeing this make me want to sell my AP. AP, what's up, man? What's going on? I done spent $200,000 on one of y'all watches.
So
you telling me I could have waited to 2026 and spent $300 and got the same effect?
who cares?
The hoes can't tell the difference.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Niggas down here that really pay resale. I can see if I was getting my watches for fucking retail. I'm paying resale prices, nigga. I'm getting hit on the head for an extra $20,000 to rock y'all watch, or extra fucking $100,000, nigga. The AP skeleton, that shit retail like 80 bands or some shit. I'm pissed as a customer. I'm pissed. Y'all seen this shit? $300, nigga. Like, just seeing this make me want to sell my AP. AP, what's up, man? What's going on? I done spent $200,000 on one of y'all watches. You telling me I could have waited to 2026 and spent $300 and got the same effect? The hoes can't tell the difference. They don't know what the fuck. If this is a skeleton, I tell a girl, hey, this black ceramic AP limited edition, 300,000. You feel me? Come on, bro.
So
That
now,
shit ain't right, bro. There's niggas down here that really pay resale. I can see if I was getting my watches for fuck.
All right, so couple things. Ain't he with Chloe Bailey, or he was? That's his baby moms. I know when they was going through their shit, I was kind of like on his side. You know what I mean? Like, yo, she on some bullshit. You know, they be pulling up old clips of them. You know, her sister talking about she toxic, and I mean, they celebrities, but they human beings, right? But then when you see shit like this, you're like, this nigga's a bird. And this is why, right? No hate on his money. You a good streamer. You figured it out. You a millionaire 3 times over, 5 times over, 20 times over. You got 20 million. Like, salute to you, my brother. You a young black brother. You broke the generational curse. Salute to you. You know what I mean? You got more than I ever had, right? But when you hear like, yo, hoes can't tell a difference, you see where his mind is at? Over a brand that you don't own. You paid what you wanted to pay for. Nobody put a gun to your head. And it all goes back to self-confidence, insecurities. A lot of just like women got insecurities, a lot of men got insecurities, right? And you are who you are before you got here, that whole line. And you can try to change it, but that's just the top layer. A lot of these guys without the money, without the celebrityism, the fame, and the little notoriety, they ain't nobodies. They're not stand-up sturdy dudes. And I don't know him, personally. I just know him through the camera, like y'all. I just got put up on him, recently. I'm not a big streamer guy. I'm not a streamer guy at all. But besides Constant, not him, and I think the other dude who was talking about street dudes and they would never be as rich as him no more. Forget what his name was. That's just not my cup of tea. I only really study for these topics when it's time to speak about it, so I can speak with clarity and I can, give the right information. But to hear you say, the hoes can't tell the same way, niggas can't tell. When women wear them bags and they got them shoes on, the Czechoslovakias and all the different shit, I never knew what that shit was. And I never cared. Because I don't give a fuck about that. Who cares if you got a Lamborghini or Ferrari or Bentley Ferrari and all that shit? Whether my AP is 300 and yours is 300,000. What difference does it make? You mad that the hoes can't tell, so the playing field is level, and niggas can pull the same bitches you pulling? That's what it sounds like. And this is the analogy I give as far as materialistic shit. And once you strip all that away, it's almost like what Kevin Samuels was telling the women, because everybody is a dime, right? Everybody is a dime, a nine, Kelly Rowlands, you know what I mean? Beyonce, and whoever else you could think look good. Nia Long, right? Halle Berry. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm being funny. Salute to all the sisters that look good, right? That's most men and women would be like, nah, you drop dead gorgeous. And shout outs to all the delusional women who think they look as good as them, but they don't. But because you can't tell them that you're not that attractive, everybody look good. But this is why Kevin Samuels used to do it, to humble you and to show you that there's levels, right? And what do I mean? He said, fresh out the shower, fresh face, no makeup, your real natural hair, you in all your glory and beauty. What are you? What would the world say you are? Most people are average, and that's okay. Now, when you doctor it up and throw a little wig on, put a little foundation on, a little lip gloss, you throw some heels on, make yourself taller, push your titties up with the bra, you tuck your tummy in. Yeah, you can look like a naturally dime, and you're a 7 because you enhance yourself. Men, you are who you are. Just talked about this in the beginning. Shape up, Vaseline, lotion on. You are who you are. Now, you can work out, and obviously you can look, like a Denzel, or a fucking whoever you could think of that's chiseled up and they got the muscles and all that. So if you standing next to somebody that's not as chiseled or athletically inclined, an athlete, a football player, then yeah, you're not gonna measure up in that regard. But I could be ugly, like Big said. I could be black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. And you can have the six pack and the body and all that. But if I come in with the bread and I pull up in the Lambo and whatever, then the playing field, if it's not even, it's going to tilt a little bit more on my favor. Because though you look good, you can't change the hoe's life. As he said, hoes can't tell the difference. I can change a life because I got money and you don't. You got looks. As far as the bedroom bully, we both gonna probably put it down the same. I'm gonna pick myself in that category and say I'm a swordsman, so I'm gonna do justice. And maybe you will too, but I got money and I'm a swordsman. You look good and you a swordsman. Or you handsome according to the ladies. Who you think they're gonna fuck with? They might fuck with me and still fuck with you. You know what I mean? Sneak over to you after they chill with me, right? But the point is, it sounds like he a little mad. And BouT and them was mad. Niggas gonna be wearing fake shit. Niggas wear fake shit anyway all day. Niggas wearing the moissanite diamonds. Diamonds don't be real. You hear Tyrese a millionaire. You're like, yeah, I get this shit off Amazon because I'm already a millionaire. So what difference do it make? But this is the last point that I make, right? That if you get nothing else from this topic, and I learned this, being incarcerated, which I've been incarcerated a few times. Although you could get clothes in there, like outside clothes, you can, get packages, and it is people. Some people live better than others in there, but for the most part, the average person in there is basically you just a prisoner, bro. You know what I mean? You can have $1 million, but you only can spend 55. So you're still on the same playing field as me. I got 100,000, you got 100 million. We still only can spend 55 on food. So you ain't no different than me. You got 100 million, I got 10,000. We still only can have the same amount of shirts, same amount of sneakers. We still gonna get the same amount of visits. But even on a level lower than that, we all gotta wear the uniform, which is the green. We all a number in there, right? And when you butt ass naked and you standing there going to visit, or you standing there to get searched, we all just men. And what separates you is your character, your morals, your values, your principles, what you stand upon, your beliefs, how you giving it up, how you interact, and do other men respect you? Because I don't care how many bitches like you. I don't care how many bitches love you. If men don't respect you, you're not respected. That's the reality. You can shred it, you can run from it, but destiny arrives all the same. I don't care how many women like you. If men don't respect you, then you're not respected. And you're going to have an issue because you're a man and you're going to have to interact with other men. You know what I'm saying? So no women can like you. But if men respect you, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. You're going to be safe. You're going to be all right. Because other men respect you as a man. And when you butt naked, again, besides the physical features, are you a thief? Are you a pedophile? Are you a scammer? Are you a booty bandit? Are you a robber? Are you a dope dealer? What's your characteristics? You a good person? You know what I mean? What's your beliefs? What's your morals and value compass like? Are you willing to do certain things, or is your principles and your morals and your ethics gonna stop you from swinging certain things? Because you'll be brought with money, or is it a cutoff limit for what you will and you won't do? This is what separates the man, not the AP. Whether yours costs 100 and whether yours costs 300. And the reason why I was saying the Richard Millie, because I think this looked like a Richard Millie. I had no idea what a Richard Millie was. I don't value those things. None of that moves the needle for me. I'm who I am with cheap clothes on, expensive clothes on, or butt ass naked, standing in the mirror. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna come out in my own way. But one of my coworkers, he's like, "Oh, you know what the Richard Millie is? You got the Richard Millie on?" And he's like, "Oh, you got the Richard Millie." He was playing, but I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? And I was intrigued. And he pulled up the picture, and I seen it. And I looked at my watch. I'm like, "Oh, I do look similar." But I said, obviously, you can tell that's $1 million or 500,000 And clearly this is not. Clearly this is not. So every time I came in with a different watch that looked similar, well, I got a few because I still like things that I like. They don't got to be expensive. I ain't got to give my money to the people who don't need it and don't fuck with me, right? Ain't gonna do nothing for me or my community. He would, make a little fun or whatever. This is another one. I was gonna wear this one, but I thought the blue one looked better. This is another one, right? Rich and Millie. This the blue one, and this the white, right? It's the blue one, and that's the white, right? A Millie, a Millie, a Millie, a Millie. And I just was to laugh at him. And every time I come in with something, he always be like, "Oh, you get money being funny," but he was so infatuated over a watch because it costs a certain amount of money, and that's where the insecurities come from, and what Nas said. No idea is original. It's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. What you base your happiness around. Material women and mad people. That mean you inferior, not major. Y'all niggas is inferior, even though you got money. And just because you got money, that don't make you alive or a lit nigga. There's plenty of clown, fuck goofy niggas that got money. He might be one of them. That's just my opinion of him after hearing some shit like that. You know what I mean? But who am I? I'm just a struggling YouTuber and he's a big time streamer. But that's my opinion. That's my thoughts. And that's what some of y'all is here for, to hear my opinions and my thoughts. But we're going to end the show on that. Y'all know what it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live. We rolling. We unscripted. We authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid. Happy Monday, man. Let's be safe out there. Have a great week. Ah.